everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. So in this video, we will talk about two global protocols, OAuth 2, OpenID Connect, and I will also talk about PKCE, which is part of OAuth 2 now. Why this is important? Even though I am discussing Spring Security, OAuth 2 and OIDC are both global protocols. So when I say global protocols, they impact not just Java Spring Boot, but .NET, Modern, Angular, React.js, Vue.js, Next.js, Python, Flask, Django, all modern frameworks. Go, for example, all of these are providers. Most of these have default high quality libraries to do that, underlying plumbing, all identity and access management providers. I know Microsoft Ultra ID, Bing Identity, Okta, open source Keycloak, all have rich support for these two protocols. So when you learn OAuth 2 and OpenID Connect, your mileage goes from not just Spring Boot Java, but also to other frameworks. And I'm talking about business verticals, finance, banking, manufacturing, retail, e-com, entertainment. Everywhere you can find the application of OAuth 2 and OpenID Connect. With that being said, let's go see what are these. So OAuth 2 came first. First OAuth 1 came, has large gaps, and then OAuth 2 was prepared by companies like Microsoft, Facebook, Google, other companies, but they formed a forum, met regularly, and designed a lightweight authorization framework that exchanges information based on HTTP protocol, HTTPS actually, and provided delegated authorization. So you can actually, what is delegated authorization? You go to an airport and the airport security need to verify your identity, but airport security does not generate your identity themselves. They ask for a document like your passport and driving license. Both documents, if you see, are issued by some other organization, not the airport security. Passport is issued by your state department, and driving license issued by your state department of motor vehicles, used by the airport security. So that is exactly delegated authentication. So the airport security is delegating another organization to produce globally or locally usable identity document, like a passport or a driving license. That's what exactly OAuth 2 was and is. OAuth 2 delegates generation of identity to identity providers like Microsoft Ultra ID, Keycloak, Okta, Ping Identity, and then the other users. Like in this case, the resource server, the clients can use the identity documents generated by these identity providers like Keycloak and Microsoft Ultra ID. So they force you to authenticate. So they take the responsibility of verifying you are genuine. Once they are sanguine that you are genuine, then they issue tokens that other people can use. Right? That's delegated authorization. And once you get the token, the recipients will allow, like airport security, once they are sanguine that their driving license is original, they will let you go to board the airplane. So now let me come down and see what happens. You access a web application, which is the first one, browser request to auth authorization Keycloak. That's a specific thing for our application. And after realizing that you are not authenticated, and PKCE generation, the second thing that happens, Spring creates a random code verifier, code underscore verifier. That is exactly the name of it, and sends to S2 SHA 256 generated value, which is named as code underscore challenge. Exact name, don't change it. User authentication Keycloak, it is going to Keycloak. Keycloak verifies, challenges you with username, password, or any other mode of authentication. Then it could be MFA. And then once it is satisfied, you it forces you to make the token call, and that is the second call, OAuth authorization program, even using PKCE is a two call sequence, right? And then when you make the backend token call, you call this short-lived code and state, and you use the original code verifier. Backchannel come here, Spring sends the code plus the original code verifier, as I say, to the token endpoint. What the backend does, it then generates its own latest code underscore challenge using the same method that you S256 that you sent in the first call. Then it has two code challenge. The first one that you sent in the first call, and the new one that it right now generated when you make the second call. It compares the first one and the second one, both matches. It is sanguine that both are connected. And then what is the advantage of the first? There is an older method of authorization program that does not use PKCE, that uses a client secret on the backend. In this case, you can realize the client secret is generated dynamically. So nobody can steal it for a long time. It is every call generates a code verifier and code challenge freshly. So it is much more dynamic. Now, in this process of OAuth 2 and OIDC, we see multiple tokens. ID token describes authentication event and user identity consumed by OIDC client application for displaying the username, password, your profile. This is specifically OpenID Connect, not OAuth 2. Access token is specifically belongs to OAuth 2. Authorizes calls to protected resources like REST APIs and contains roles and scopes so that the recipient can authorize the refresh token so that we can use the refresh token, which has a longer lifespan, to get more shorter lived life access tokens so that we don't have to force the user every 5 minutes to log in, keep logging in again and again. So that's when I will stop before I go to the next video and discuss something else. As I said, I have lots of foundational knowledge videos like this that will add significant values to your professional career. If you like it, please subscribe, please share, and please click the bell icon for receiving new videos from me. Thank you. Have a great day. I will see you in the next video.